Speaking of uncertainty, we have the Democratic presidential campaign has been thrown into a tiz because of the results of last week's debate. I saw this morning on CNN our former Congressman Tim Ryan making a few comments about what happens next. He was pretty non-committal about either Biden or a potential candidacy of a vice president, Kamala Harris. But he was there speaking as a source for the Democrats, which can be good for Tim's future political aspirations, I think.
Yeah, and boy, I don't know what to say about that. I looked at that debate, and I was maybe I shouldn't have been surprised, but I was kind of surprised. I I think when you look at both candidates, we heard the questions about Joe Biden. Joe Biden's getting a little older. There were questions saying, where is he at? Um, I know we covered his trip into East Palestine over a couple months ago, and there were some questions even that week saying, is he there? Can he serve? From what we observed there, he's an older guy. I don't think there was anything he did there that made you think, "Oh my goodness, he can't serve as president." But he's an older man; he's over 80,
Right, right,
and we don't have a restriction on ages right now. I think there should be. I think a lot of people in America would agree with me that there should be, but we've got to play with the field that we have right now. There
right.
hasn't been that restriction right now. I mean, you could be 150 and run for president if you really want to. What bothers me, Guy, is on one side, you got a guy that's older. You've got someone that even the Democratic Party have raised some questions about. And you've heard that over the past week since the debate. On the other side, with the Republicans, with Donald Trump, I know the official party line, the line of Trump is saying, hey, these investigations are unfair. They're targeting me. This isn't good. But you still got charged and you still got convicted. Here's the question I have for you, Guy. We have a guy that we're trying to figure out, is he ready to be president? Can he serve properly with Biden? And then you've got a guy that, even if you don't believe in the conviction, he got convicted. You know what I mean? We've never
Right.
seen a president being,
And,
or a
and
former
in many
president being
places,
convicted.
convicted felons cannot run for public office.
Right. And, now we're getting a lot more, I think this immunity court decision, this doesn't get, there's a limit on the immunity that President Trump can go for, but he still has some more immunity than he had in the past. That sends a big monkey wrench in everything. And I don't think we're being fair to the American people, either the
No, we're
Republicans
not.
or the Democrats. Um,
This
it,
more than ever is looks like the future of who our next president is going to be is being taken out of the hands of the electorate, kind of here.
well, and if you look at like the Republican side, okay, if you're a fan of Trump, you're going to fully buy into the, hey, it was a witch hunt, they convicted me, whatever. But if you're a undecided voter, or if you're a voter who could go either way, how does this help when your candidate is convicted?
Right. I mean,
And
there's flaws on either side, and the choice
right,
is not the best for the American public. You talked about, downtown, what is going to be the best for Youngstown, downtown Youngstown. As America as a whole, the future of America, we don't have the best involved here.
well, and the thing that bothers me about the whole Biden situation, and again, make your judgments. I've heard people say, "Look, he had a bad night." I'm getting older. Sometimes when I'm up at 11 p.m., I kind of sound goofy and things like that. So I totally get it. But you're sitting here like you're not putting your best foot forward either way
Right.
at all. And the question I have is, I think some Democrats are questioning to say, "Hey, was some of this did we not know the whole story about where Biden's really at right now?
Right.
I
And
think
the news is coming out, dripping out that, this wasn't the first time Biden was acting like this. And, his handlers have been, prepping him. And, he hasn't had a off the cuff moment with the media in a long time. His speeches are scripted. He knows what questions are coming. And even this upcoming interview with George Stephanopoulos, there's questions about, whether it's going to be pre-recorded and it's not going to be just live and off the cuff like any politician would be submitted to.
well, and we've
This
talked about
stagecraft is really getting people unnerved, I think.
and we've talked about this before, and I think we need to talk about it again. Can't we do better? I
Right.
mean,
It's
and again,
unfair to the voter.
right, and I don't want to make any illogical comments saying either Trump or Biden, but I guess what I'm saying is think about your business. Think about what you do. The prosecutor's office wants to put its best foot forward. As a publication, Mahoning Matters wants to put its best foot forward.
Right.
Downtown, Youngstown, agree with them or don't agree with them, they're trying their best to help out the city. They're trying to put their best foot forward. And when you don't have that confidence, and again, there are merits with both Trump and Biden. I'm not wanting to downgrade both of them, but what I'm sitting here and saying is if you're not doing the best you can for your public, if it's your clients, if it's your shoppers, if it's your business, if it's the people you deal with at your local nonprofit,
Right.
what are you doing? I mean
Right.
that's just the thing that just
And it
baffles me.
seems like every 4 years, the electric election process is taking a hit in integrity here. Like,
Yeah,
is
and
everything above board? I mean, 2016 there was questions on the Democrat side about Trump winning, and then 2020 we got the questions from the Trump side about the Democrats winning, and this year it seems like we're not even going to get to the point of we're going to have two nominees. I mean, look at how hard it is to get these candidates to the starting line now. Never
I mean, I think we're going to have nominees. I think the question I have is,
was the process fair.
well, if I'm a Democrat, I'm scratching my head, and there's
Right.
conspiracy theories out there going, "Oh, they wanted it to happen this way." I don't think the Democrats wanted it to happen this way, because
No,
right now you're sitting here and
they
saying,
they
"Okay,
looked like if this was a scripted scenario, why is everybody on the Democratic side panicking and failing to come up with any answers?
how would it help?" Yeah, you have to have an answer right now, and if
Right.
you really collectively say, "I'm not sure if Joe Biden's the guy," you have to say, "Okay, this person's the person." You don't have that. And
No.
even for the Democrat and Republican Party, you've already went through a primary season. I mean, if we haven't got to the primary season yet, we can sit here and say, okay, well, at least the primary will figure out if we believe in these candidates or not.
Right.
Right
Well,
now,
we're
both
past that
candidates
now.
yeah, both candidates have gotten the votes. So I guess what I'm saying is I'm concerned at the Republican and Democratic Party where they said, look, here is the best we have. Like if you're hiring somebody at your place of business, yeah, you may not always pick the number one exact person you definitely wanted to, but when you present that candidate to be hired to your boss or whatever the case might be, you better darn be certain that you have someone that knows what they're doing and is pretty good.
Right. Well, the one thing I know that in the past, couple quadrenniums, the conventions have been bore fest. Well, this year, both conventions,
Oh
I'm going
yeah.
to have my eyeballs from gavel to gavel.
I don't think the Republican Party there's going to be as much of a concern. I tell you, to Donald Trump's credit, and you can raise questions all day on what he's saying is the truth or not. I'll let the voters decide that. Man, I showed my wife that. I said, forget what either one of them is saying. Look at them side by side. They have split screen, and Trump looked more presidential. You know, I mean, he looked more presidential than Biden did. So I'll be honest. Yeah, there should be some concern saying, should we have a convicted person run? But right now, Trump looks like a better candidate. I would be really concerned on the Democratic side. And I don't want to make this attack on Joe Biden. Maybe Joe Biden is the best person to run right now. But if I'm a Democrat and I say, hey, you know, what do we do? As a Democrat, if you're thinking that Donald Trump would be the worst thing for America, then put somebody up that can beat Donald Trump. And
I kind of look at it. I kind of look at it as that America did lose in that debate because we didn't really see we saw for the first time a kind of a restrained Donald Trump. I think the handlers had advised him, okay, this is really Joe Biden's opportunity to lose everything, and which happened, and so they kind of told Trump to kind of cool it a little bit and let the president hang himself with his words, and that's what happened.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting next couple months.
Right. The uncertainty in downtown Youngstown, the uncertainty of the election process. So these are exciting times to live for here.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how it affects people locally. I mean, we've talked a lot about the Senate race with Sherrod Brown against Bernie Moreno. Will this even affect locally? I know locally we don't look at Republicans, Democrats as critically, maybe. And I'm talking about local races, like, with mayors and other stuff. But how does this affect people? Time will tell. And like I said, I'm still looking at it from a neutral lens, but I don't know how you're totally happy from the Republican or Democrat side right now. That's the hard thing.
Right. And I'm more concerned about America and, the future of these elections.
Yeah. No, it's troubling to say the least.